I'm Maxim. My call sign is Doc. I'm a chief sergeant of the medical company of the 4th Operational Brigade of the Rubizh National Guard. On February 24, 2022, the full-scale invasion began. I went to the military registration and enlistment office, stood in a kilometer-long line, and was told that at that time only those who came either with calls or had some combat experience were mobilized. And I was redirected to the center of the territorial defense formation in Ivano-Frankivsk, where there was an even longer queue, and I was offered to go directly to Kiev from there. I accepted it, and on February 26th, I left for Kiev and joined the Svoboda Volunteer Territorial Defense Formation. The evacuation of the wounded is very difficult because the enemy has a large number of FPVs and other weapons that can easily destroy our equipment. The advantages of this vehicle are its maneuverability and the fact that it has 2 electronic warfare stations. This car is more maneuverable, less visible, and therefore less likely to be destroyed. It has better transmission of information from the place of injury, from the position to the stabilization point about the specifics, classification, and, well, in general, what happened to the soldier, so that we can prepare in advance to provide assistance. The actions of the doctors themselves, and the speed of evacuation. After receiving information that a soldier is wounded, he is evacuated from his position by infantry or nearby units to a stabilization point on the contact line. There, he receives first aid, and then an evacuation team, including a driver, a medic, or a paramedic, leaves. And as the group reaches the hospital, the next stage of medical care is provided. In the first hour, we restore the volume of circulating blood, prevent shock conditions from becoming more severe, provide pre-medication, and administer the first components and blood substitutes. The maximum amount of first aid is provided so that the patient can get out of shock and get to the hospital in a stable state of vital activity, where more specific, more qualified, and narrowly focused care will be provided. The advantages of the filling and equipment of this machine are that we have these stretchers. They are plastic, have no wheels, nothing. And due to this, they can be taken out very quickly, loaded with the wounded and secured. There are fixing ties. There are 2 stoppers that do not allow this stretcher to fly away anywhere. Everything is fixed securely. The various pouches that hang are equipped for each task. There is a basic kit that each vehicle is equipped with, and specifics that are taken directly after we find out the severity of the injury and its type. The basic items are scissors, tourniquets, occlusive stickers, and hemostatic bandages. With large blood losses, the body temperature drops, and we need to restore it, dilate blood vessels so that the drugs can work faster during infusions. That is why we use thermal blankets. This is written in the March protocol of the TCCC committee. Here is a headrest and fixings for this stretcher. This is the seat. It is convenient for setting up drips and providing some kind of assistance or monitoring the condition of the injury. Also, with certain injuries, it is better to give the wounded a sitting position, which will have a more positive effect on their well-being. There is a shortage because vehicles are a very consumable material. They break down, sometimes they are lost in the fighting, sometimes they get stuck somewhere, and while waiting for a vehicle to pull them out, they are hit by enemy vehicles. Sometimes it is simply impossible to leave with the equipment and the equipment stays. And usually, if at least 50% of all vehicles return from one rotation, it is very good. In addition, in order to perform various tasks in the combat zone and provide quality assistance, there is always a need for tourniquets approved by the TCCC committee. For example, I have one of Cat 7 generation, TNT, TXT, SAM XT, and others. There is also a need for various tactical medicine, which unfortunately we do not have, such as nodal tourniquets. There are very few of them, and they are used very quickly, so it is very difficult or very expensive to get them. My personal motivation is that I can gain tremendous medical experience, which I will need in civilian life and in clinical practice. Also, the fact that I can either save or do my best to save the lives of my colleagues and other people who are defending Ukraine from the invasion.
Hello.
Hello.
Labas. Hello.
Hello.
Hola. Hello. Hello.